Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, Scott and AJ, episode 20.
What's
Episode
up?
20. We're here for 20 episodes already for It's Always Golf O'Clock podcast. We're hitting episode 20 up. Um, Excited to be here, buddy. How you doing today?
Good, good. Doing great. A little chilly outside today, gonna be a little
Yeah, it
chilly,
got
chilly
cold. It got
tomorrow. Yeah.
cold.
But then it's supposed to come back up in the weekend, for the
Crazy.
weekend. So, and I gotta work football, so but I think it's supposed to be nice that day. I'd rather a day off or be golfing, but
Well, I'll tell you
um
what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing on Saturday is in the morning I'm gonna get my golf net set up and everything, and I'm actually gonna do some ball testing. So check that out on my handles here. That is golfing. We're gonna be doing some ball testing with some Pro V1s, some Callaway Chrome Softs, and the TP TaylorMade TPs. So Tour Preferred. So we're gonna do some ball testing and start that process of finding the ball that's gonna fit my game. But that'll start Saturday. And then I got softball practice with the girls. Girls have just finished their last tournament. We won one of our pool brackets, which is really exciting. Our
that's
last
awesome.
tournament, but we're gonna keep practicing them. Got to get them better. Work on fundamentals now. Off season, get those fundamentals going. They started basketball this past week. It's like it's nonstop, bro. It is nonstop. It's killing
Yeah.
my golf time though.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what we got planned for episode
What?
21 next
Episode 21. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to
special
join
one.
because Scott and AJ are going to be in Pinehurst, North Carolina next when we bring our next episode to you guys, episode 21. So we're gonna be together. We're gonna be in our hotel room. Scott and I are taking a little bit of a trip. We're gonna head down to the Pinehurst area. I'm gonna stay overnight. We are playing a golf course on Friday, which we're gonna talk about here, and then we're gonna talk to you about our plan on Saturday, and we're hoping that we can get on one of the other courses here. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so episode 21, tune in, hit that subscribe button on both of our pages right now so you can see us for episode 21. It's going to be a really, really good time. We'll probably
Well,
be coming
hit
back
him
from
on
the
AJ's
brewery.
page right now. I had to unlist our episodes for a little bit, but you can still we are working on getting them on other platforms at some point. So tune into AJ's channel if you want to watch this.
Hit the button. Hit the
Yeah.
button. So anyway, let's talk a little about Pinehurst. So Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's about about an hour from Raleigh area, about an hour and a half from Charlotte. Um,
Hour and a half from me.
yeah, hour and a half from really us here in the
Right.
Triad, but it really is the home of golf in the United States. It was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, as kind of like a getaway for a lot of the people up north to come down and relax and do a lot. And Donald Ross was obviously one of the big designers down there that started a lot of courses. He started Southern Pines, which was I think built in 1906. That he did. It just got restored. So on Friday, let's talk about Friday first. So we're gonna drive down. I'm going over to Scott's house Friday. I'm taking a day off work. Scott's taking a day off of work, and gonna meet at his house. We're gonna drive on down, and we are going to be playing the Legacy Golf Links. I think we have a one o'clock tee time, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah, like
um,
109 or something like
yeah,
that.
109. So Scott's going to bring the website up. They just changed the website. It looks like that the Talamore Resort, the Talamore Group. I don't know if they bought them out or if they're working together in coalition with them or something. But Legacy Golf Links is a Jack Nicklaus group. I think it was actually designed by Jack Nicklaus II. I've played there once before. It is a fantastic track. Very challenging. Very reminiscent of the Nicklaus courses with big bunkering and a lot of trouble in front of you. That's the 18th hole right there. Extremely difficult hole. That is probably about a 200-yard shot you have coming into that green.
How many golf balls are in there?
Yeah, I know. None of mine though. I can tell you that much. I actually hit my drive down to the right here a little bit, and I had about 189 or 190 yards in, and I hit a beautiful. I think I hit a 6 iron or a 5 iron to the right side of the green, a little bit further. Yeah, right where your mouse was, just up. Yeah, right above there. No, I wasn't on the bunker. I was just right up there. It was a really really nice shot. I was able to get up and down for par, but it kind of took a little bit more than I wanted to. I was trying to aim a little left, and it shot out right a little bit on me. But that's the 18th hole. Clubhouse is up there on the right, but got some pictures here. But like I said, this is a Jack Nicklaus design. It's a really, really great course. Bermuda fairways, Bermuda greens. There's a little video here. We're gonna play that for a little bit for you. Just kind of, I think they got a drone that runs through there. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Scott's just gonna run it through. So as you can see, just a beautiful place. Big golf range there that you can hit off of and get loosened up. They do. I didn't eat any of the food there, but the grill looks pretty nice. Yeah, there you go. Coming on. That's on the back nine. That's 11. It's a par through. Yeah, it's 11 because the 10th is a par five. That's the 10th drive right there. So that's the
All right.
10th hole drive. You got to go over the water. It's fairways on the left. I did put one in the water there. I'm not gonna lie. Hit a big old cut and it just kept cutting and didn't stop. So, um, got the scorecard here. I think it plays about 6,900 yards from the tips. Now we obviously won't play that long. We'll probably play from the blues. I think it's about 63, 6,400.
Yeah, that's what we
Um,
typically play on most courses. Some a
yeah, we
little
like to keep
longer.
it.
Yeah.
I think 65 is probably the max that we like to do. Keep it fun, have a good time with it. So, um, but yeah, it's a great little course. Scott, I'm excited. You've never played there before, and I'm excited to take you out there and play a little. Here's some of the pictures. We want to bring a
I'll
couple
put
photos.
my short games on.
You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
They got a lot
I
of
need to I need to get out and practice. Maybe I'll practice in my little office here and chip a few balls or putt a little bit.
there
So
you go. So tee times at 109. Really excited about heading down there.
yeah, here's some
Great to
other
kind of bring some
pictures.
of those pictures up. As you can see, the Carolina Pines are there. Beautiful, beautiful course. That's 18, and that is a tough little shot right there. So,
Yeah, it's
um,
16. Wait, no,
yeah.
that's 16, whatever.
Oh, 60. I'm sorry, I was
Yeah.
16. Yep. There's 15 that comes down the hill. 16 goes over. That's right. Yep. But it's a great little course. Really excited about playing there. So, and happy
Nice.
that I'm gonna be able to have you experience it with me, man. It's gonna be great.
Little
Great to
map of
where
the
it's at.
area.
Yep. It's right off
Get
the highway, kind of a thing.
little
Um,
satellite view.
Yep. Yep. Great little spot. Great little
All
spot.
right.
So, and then Pinehurst, if you scroll out a little bit more from there, Scotty. So scroll out on that map a little bit. So that's the southern part. That's in Aberdeen. If you and then bring the map down a little bit. If you can just bring it. Oh, there we go. Yep. No, the other way. Bring the map up. I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There's Pinehurst. That's where you're getting into the Pinehurst Village and everything. Just kind of up that area. Yep. Yep. Goes
Click
up a little
on.
bit more to the north. So it is pretty close. Yep. There it is. If you go down, there's Pinehurst right there to the left. So yep, right up in that area. That's the whole
Yeah.
Pinehurst Village and all that stuff. So yep, there's number two and number one. So we're excited about getting down there and we're gonna go to the brewery. I think the Pinehurst Brewery for dinner on Friday night. I don't think you've eaten there yet. It's fantastic. They have some great food there and brew their own beer and everything like that. So get a few drinks, hang out, and really have a good time. And then
Played
Saturday
this.
morning.
We've played this course, Beacon Ridge.
Yeah, we did play Beacon Ridge. We played Beacon Ridge. Played Longleaf down there. That's a good one too. I've played a couple. I've played Highland and Mid Pines. I played. I really like Mid Pines. Mid Pines is a great little course.
Yeah. Here's an
Um,
overview, a little overview of Beacon Ridge right there.
yep, that's a good course.
Around, it's not right on the lake, but it's close. So
Yeah, and that one that's kind of a little west of Pinehurst. You're
right.
about probably about 15 minutes from Pinehurst there, but good course to play if you're coming in or leaving. Beacon Ridge, and it's really
Let's see.
reasonable from a price standpoint too.
Which of these courses have we played? We played Todd Hill.
Todd
That's
Hill, love Todd
a
Hill.
great one if you haven't checked that out.
Love Todd Hill.
You've played
So,
Southern Pines,
no, I
right?
haven't played Southern Pines. That was the one I was talking about that I was
Yeah.
hoping to get on. I played Mid Pines. I played Duke. I played Duke. So
I
I
have
played
not
Mid
played
Pines. I
those.
played Duke, and I
I've
haven't.
heard this one's good.
Yeah, I haven't played Firefox yet. So I played
Um,
Talamore down there. Talamore's a really good course.
I haven't
Really
played
like
any of those
Talamore a
others.
lot.
We played Beacon Ridge. We just
Played
talked
Beacon
about.
Ridge. Yep.
Let's see what else.
I haven't played the Traces yet. Highland, I played. I
But
played
we played
Highland. I played
Longleaf.
Longleaf.
Longleaf,
Longleaf is a really good one too.
Longleaf is great.
Yep.
So,
So
yeah, so that's next
And the
week's
plan
episode.
and the plan for Saturday. So right now, the way it works at Pinehurst, if you stay at Pinehurst and you're a resort guest, you get access to all the courses there pretty much. If you're not a resort guest, we're not going to be staying there because there's only one night we're going down for. We stay in one of the other hotels. Um, you wait 24 hours before the day you want to play. So Friday morning, we're going to call the Pinehurst Resort. If they have any openings on 1, 3, or 5, we will have access to get on to 1, 3, or 5. So we're really kind of crossing our fingers to be able to get on one of them. I'd love to get on 1 or 5. One's the first one that was done there, which is great. 3 is a shorter course. It's like 5,300 yards, par 68, but it was redesigned, it was redone, brought back to the Ross. So if we can get on it, great. If we can't, we can't. But we're really hoping to get on one of those 3 courses to be able to play down in like actually on the Pinehurst course. If not, like I said, I'm gonna make some phone calls here on Friday, um, about a week out to see if anything's open at Southern Pine, Mid Pines, or Pine Needles. And then we have other options that we can do on the way back too. Highlands got a lot of tee times open. That's a really good course too. We can always go to Seven Lakes, which is very close to Beacon Ridge. And then they have a couple others that we can, I found a couple others, the Bayonet at Puppy Creek, which is down south even further, is one that we can get some potential to play on. So we're gonna
Yeah,
try it. We're gonna see what happens. Longleaf's another one. We can also get on Longleaf potentially too.
it
So
looks like the weather is going to cooperate. Not going to
it
be like
does.
super warm or anything, but yeah, it
Yeah,
should
we'll
be
be. I mean, it's
decent.
going to be in the low 60s, I think, is what we're seeing. So I think Alex is planning to join us for Friday night, which I'm hoping he does. I'm really hoping he's not going to be able to play with us because he's got work and stuff like that. But I think he's going to drive down for dinner after work, and then he'll be on our podcast, man. So we may have our
Nice.
first guest, which I'm excited about too.
Nice.
Bring him on. So and then hopefully he'll be able to come down and play around with us too that Saturday. And then we're just gonna come home and have Sunday with the family and relax. And it looks like some rain's coming in Sunday, so hopefully we'll beat that rain
Yeah,
out.
so
Great.
it's going to work out well. We'll be back in time to spend the day with family on Sunday
Watch the Chiefs play Carolina.
yeah, big game. Speaking of that, should we get into our little picks here?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All
I was
right.
able to gain some more ground, it looks like.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. All right. So we got last week's picks. So college, man, there were some interesting games over the weekend, huh? So you had Georgia ended up losing to Ole Miss, and we both of us picked Georgia on
Mhm.
that one. So nobody gained any ground there,
Georgia's outside the top 12 right now with
which is crazy. But
crazy. Crazy.
um, yeah, they're saying it. Well, Colorado wins out. They go to the Big 12 championship game. Obviously, they'll be in it. K-State is 16. They went out. They could possibly be in it.
Well,
And
BYU's got to lose.
well, not the well, they would have to lose for them to make the Big 12 championship game, but K-State only has to make up 4 spots to be in the playoff. So, but
Yep.
if they went out, it's going to get interesting here because what if some more SEC teams lose? And man,
Well,
it's
yeah, you got to think somebody from the East. It's either gonna be Tennessee or Georgia's got to play
right.
Texas A&M maybe
Well,
or
you could
Alabama
have
maybe in the championship game.
I saw a crazy, I don't know if this would actually happen. I saw a crazy
Texas.
scenario where if you have these 2-loss SEC teams and some 3-loss that you wouldn't have an SEC team in the top 12, but I don't see that happening.
I don't know. You got Texas up there. I forgot about Texas being in the SEC. They'll
All
be in
right.
they'll be in the championship game probably
So
from the West. Well, they got to play
I
Texas
think
A&M
you'll
still.
have I think you'll have at least maybe at least 2 SEC teams.
I would think
Three.
two are gonna make it. It's got to make it. It's
The,
got to.
the interesting thing will be see how many make it from the Big 12 and the Big 10.
Yeah.
You've got Indiana right now that's rolling.
They got a big game next week against Ohio State.
Yeah.
That'll be
I
one of the
said
games
from the
on the schedule.
beginning, if any team's going to beat Ohio State in the Big 10, other than, I mean, granted, they lost to Oregon, close one, but um, Indiana's got a shot.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. That'll be one of our that'll have to be one of our picks
That will
next
definitely be a
week
pick next week, buddy.
on Friday
Definitely be a
night,
pick.
and hopefully we'll have Alex as a guest. But
Yeah.
so yeah, so Alabama, you got that one, and then man, this next
Big
game,
win. Big
bottom of
win
the
by the
barrel.
Miners.
UTEP in overtime. I picked Kennesaw, and Kennesaw lost in overtime, then fired their coach. And then we both had Vanderbilt. So you got me by
Two on that.
2 on that one. And then down here in NFL, we both picked the Commanders and Steelers won, obviously. 49ers won. We both picked that. And then I got you with the Cardinals because the Cardinals beat the Jets and we both picked the Lions. So I was up 2 last week. You gained 1 on me. So I'm up
Chipping away, man. It's just like match play,
away.
buddy. It's like match
Yeah.
play. Get one hole back at a time.
So speaking of that, since you kind of won the week, why
Yeah.
don't you start off with the college picks?
All right. So the first pick we have the Clemson Tigers heading up to the Pitt Panthers. I'm going to pick Clemson here. I think Clemson's a pretty good team. I think Dabo Swinney's going to have that team ready to go. Pitt's not playing bad, and it's hard to play in Pitt. It's going to be cold up there and everything like that. But I'm going to go with the Tigers and Dabo.
Right. I think I'm gonna stick with them too. Some people are down on Dabo. I think in general, I like him. He's not big on the transfer portal, which
Yeah.
can hurt him a little bit. Right now with current times, but I like the guy in general. I like what he's done with the program. I think in general he seems like a pretty good person. Obviously, I'm a former equipment manager. They had equipment manager with special needs back in the day. Not that that tells how they play on the field, but he really took the guy in under his wings, and I
Mm.
just like you said, he's got them playing a little bit better this year. So I'm
Yeah.
Pitt has struggled their last few games. Yeah, it's at Pitt, but I'm gonna go with Clemson on this one too. All right, Tulane at Navy, man, this is a tough one to pick.
Tough one.
Both are in the top 25 right now.
Well,
Tulane.
Navy's not. Navy's dropped
Oh
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Navy
Navy
dropped
dropped
out.
out. My bad. But both were at least in the top
Oh
25.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Um, Tulane's a scrappy team. Most of you know I went to Kansas State. It's my alma mater, so I like cheering for them. They played at Tulane this year. That was a tough, hard fought battle.
Yep.
The only reason K State won is they had a strip sack for a touchdown.
Yep.
But this game is at Navy. I
Yeah. Tough one. Tough
Right,
one.
right. I got to stick with Navy and got to stick with our roots and Coach Newberry on this one. I don't want to root against him, even though they've lost what, two in a row. But
No, they won last week.
oh,
They
they
won
won
last
last
week. They
week.
got
Okay,
back on. Yeah, they got back
good,
up on the.
good.
They got.
Um,
They lost to Notre
y-
Dame. Then they had a really bad game against Rice, but they're back on. They're back on the winning
but
streak though.
yeah, I got to stick with Navy on this one. I don't want to go against Coach Newberry. I like the guy. I like what he's doing there in his second year. I wish him the best.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one. I think Tulane's gonna be my pick, and the reason I'm picking Tulane is I think they're
Coach
hot
Newberry,
right
if you're
now.
listening, and Coach Bateman,
Well, I didn't pick any.
thank you for
I don't
agent.
pick against Coach Bateman. You know that one. No, and I love Brian Newberry. I think he's a great guy. We had a lot of good years together at Elon, and yeah, a lot of fun together, and a lot of good conversations. And he is a great guy. But I think Tulane is I thought Tulane was the team that was going to get to the playoffs. I thought they were going to be the team that got to the at-large team in the beginning of the year. So I think Tulane's going to kind of right the ship a little bit here. I think they're gonna get the win. Well, but it's a toss-up though. It's a tough one. So all right, next one, Missouri at South Carolina. I think you got two teams going different ways here. I think South Carolina is playing better. I think Missouri is not playing as
Yeah,
good.
Missouri barely squeaked one out against struggling Oklahoma.
Exactly. So I'm gonna pick South Carolina here. I think Coach Beamer's got him going and is playing really well down there. Just beat a really good scrappy Vandy team. So I'm gonna pick South Carolina on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna have to go. If this game was at Missouri, I'd probably give Missouri a little bit
Yeah.
more of a shot, but
Yep.
they're struggling a little bit compared to how they were doing at the beginning of the season. I'm gonna go with South Carolina on this one too. I like Coach Beamer as a coach also. We know a couple coaches that have worked for him in the past too, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with South Carolina on that one. Oh man, this is a tough one. Whew.
Tennessee at Georgia. Man.
Yeah, Georgia's obviously struggling a little bit. Tennessee's um, played pretty well this season too. Georgia's quarterback struggling. Um, they obviously lost this last weekend to Ole Miss. Man, I don't know what this game is at Georgia. If this game was at Tennessee, I think I would for sure pick uh Tennessee, but man, I don't know what to do in this one. Can we flip a coin?
I know. What do you think?
Um, Man, I'm going to stick with Georgia since the game's at home. I think Kirby Smart will get him back running the ship. Um, I could be wrong though, but we'll go with Georgia on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I'm going to go Georgia here too. And here's why I'm going to go Georgia. I think two reasons. One, had a bad loss at Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss is a good team.
Ole Miss is a good team. Don't get me wrong. I agree. Had a bad loss though at Ole Miss, um, and I think they're bouncing back off a loss. That's the sign of a true championship team is when you can bounce back off of a tough loss. And the other, it's at home is number two. I think it's a hard place to play between the hedges. And number three is right now Georgia is as the polls came out yesterday, I think Georgia's outside. They're the number 12 team, and with Boise State getting in, they would be outside of the playoff. So I think that's a big motivator for that team to get into the first group of, big playoffs here, 12-team playoff. And right now they're on the outside. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win big too.
Yeah, we'll see, right? Should be good.
Oh man. NFL. So Commanders at the Eagles. Thursday night special. Um, I'm taking the Commanders here. You know, that's my team. I like them. I enjoy them. I love what they're doing over there. I think that's a huge test right now. The Eagles are playing some great football. I watched that Dallas game, and they just obliterated Dallas
Dallas
Cowboys.
is
It
struggling,
was oh,
man.
Dallas was struggling. But I think the Commanders had a really tough loss against Pittsburgh right there. A really good football team, really good game. I think they're going to bounce back here. They seem to play decent in Philly when they play. You know, that was the one year that Philly was like undefeated, and Washington went in there and beat them with Tyler Heineke, and all that stuff. So I'm going to pick the Commanders here to win, but a really close. I think a really good football game on Thursday night.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing here. I like what they're doing. Philly's a good team again. Um, yeah, yeah, they played Dallas. Dallas isn't near what they should be right now, and
They're
I
struggling.
yeah, I haven't really watched either of them this year, but yeah, I like what the Commanders are doing. I hope they keep it up. I'm not a big fan of Philly's coach. I think he's
Yeah.
arrogant, and a
Yep.
jerk, and he's eventually going to run that into the ground. But anyways, that's a different topic. So um, all right, Ravens at Steelers, big one
Oh,
here for the AFC and supremacy in that conference. But both of these teams are playing decent. I think I'm gonna go with the Steelers here. It's in Pittsburgh. Lamar Jackson seems to always struggle with the Steelers. He's like 1-3. Um, if the Ravens would have beat the Browns a couple weeks ago, I'd probably be picking the Ravens here. So, but they struggled against the Browns on the road. Lost that one, but I'm gonna go with the Steelers here.
yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. I think the Ravens are one of the top three teams in the AFC. Um, Maybe even one of the top two teams in the AFC. Um, and I think that they have a point to prove here. They lost to the Browns. I think that was a tough loss for them. Um, you know, Pittsburgh's not going to have Alex Highsmith this week. I think is a big thing. Now they did get Preston Smith. I think it was who it was who came over. Um, but I like the Steelers in this one. I'm sorry, I like the Ravens in this one in a pretty high scoring game. I think it's going to be a big time shootout. 31-34, something like that. I think it'll be a really good game to watch. So I'm going to take the Ravens. All right. Your Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. Well, I think
Yep.
I'm going to pick my thoughts on the number one team in the AFC right now, which is the Buffalo Bills, to win this game. um, I like Buffalo here.
Champions figured out ways to win, and what
I
we
know, I know, but eventually that luck's gonna run out. You know what I mean? And if it's gonna run out, I'd for your sake and for Kansas City's sake, I'd rather it run out right now
yeah,
than
staying in
the
the playoff.
the divisional round of the playoffs. You know what I mean? Against another good team. So I like Buffalo here, and I think if it was in Kansas City, I'd probably pick Kansas City. I think Kansas City is a really tough place to play, and they play really well at home. I think going into Buffalo, into Orchard Park, that place is gonna be crazy. You know that they're going to be so loud. Um, I think it's going to be a great game. I can't wait for it. I think it's at 4:25 or something like that. I am pumped to watch that football game this weekend. So I will be sitting probably on my screened in porch in the back, enjoying dinner, watching that game. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, this game could really go either way. If it was in Kansas City, I'd definitely pick the Chiefs. Um, Chiefs have pulled out what, 8 of the 9 victories have been comeback victories this year.
Yep.
So they are the better team when it comes to, pulling out those close games. Of course, everybody blames everything on the refs, no matter what time when the Chiefs win. But you and I have both been involved in football, NFL. You know it's not rigged. It's these guys are playing their hearts out, working their
Yep.
butt off. Do teams get some calls some ways? Sometimes, yes. Do teams? It happens everywhere. It happens in college. It happens when we were. So,
Happens in Little League, dude.
right,
Happens in
right.
everything.
The people that think that are just haters. So,
I got it.
anyways, um, man, I don't know which way. I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one, even though I like
Wow.
you. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, because if I pick the Chiefs, they're probably gonna lose. So if I pick the Bills, they're probably gonna win. So,
All right.
but the,
Well,
the game the game is at Buffalo. Chiefs need to get their offense going. Their defense is obviously rolling. Special teams is doing well, but they've got to get their offense going. So I got some strategy on this one. So
All right. Well, if I was a betting man, which I am a betting man, I would have definitely thought you would pick the Chiefs. But that's hey, good, good. Hey, I like it. All right. Last one. Bengals at the Chargers. That is a Sunday night game. What are you thinking?
what am I thinking? You know who my second favorite team is in the league.
I do.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think obviously Burrow's having a heck of a year. Made some mistakes here and there. You know, when they played the Chiefs, had that fumble that Chiefs returned for a touchdown that
Yeah.
might have cost them the game. But he's having a heck of a year. If he could just get everybody else to perform around him and step up and
Jamar Chase is unbelievable, dude.
right
That dude,
win these
two,
games. Yeah,
three
Jamar Chase
touchdowns,
is just
264 yards, and three touchdowns
right.
against the Ravens last week.
The Chargers are good,
Yeah.
and I think they've been like they are some of these last few seasons. They just can't seem to get over that hump. But the
Yeah.
Bengals, even though the Bengals lost to, did they lose to the Ravens last week? Was it the
They
Ravens?
did.
Yeah.
Really close game.
Right. Yeah,
Thursday
it was
Night
a one
Football.
point game.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think the Bengals are about to be at that point in the season where they're starting to come back and then possibly make the playoffs as a wild card or something.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Bengals. I still think that the Chargers are good. Their defense is good, but I don't think they quite have what it takes right now. So we'll see.
I'm going to agree with you on the Bengals on this one, and here's why. I think this is a make or break game for
Right.
Cincinnati. If they win, I think it puts them right in the wild card picture. If they lose, it's going to be very difficult. So I think that the Bengals are going to view this game as, look, we need this game to stay in the playoff hunt. If they lose this game, it gets really, really slim for them. I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are going to have those guys ho hum, and I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I know, the Chiefs usually play a low scoring game. They like to control the clock, but I think they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. Justin Herbert's going to have to play out of his mind, I think, to stay up with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a great game. I can't wait to watch that one too. I mean, it's gonna be a good weekend of football. So if you like football, you're gonna have a lot of good games on TV this weekend.
Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see, but yep.
So
No, that Chiefs Bills game should be a good one. The last one, yeah,
yeah.
they're all should be pretty decent games.
And then I think you got Dallas and Houston on Monday night.
Oh yeah,
Like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a great weekend of
Houston
football.
should have technically won too this weekend.
I know
Almost.
that was I can't believe that Jared Goff threw five interceptions and
Speaking of that, we kind of talked about this on the phone earlier this week, but the Utah BYU game, the finish in that one,
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
fourth and 10. Utah plays lights out defense the whole game. They don't score a point on offense the
yep,
second half. If they do, they probably win the ball game.
yep.
Their defense plays lights out till the last drive. And fourth and 10, they think they have the quarterback sack him, sack BYU's quarterback. The refs
That comes
call
in.
the refs call a holding penalty on the defensive back on the right side of the
Yep.
defensive formation, left side of the offensive formation. Some people say it's a controversial call. Some people say, why you call that at the end of the game? My thoughts on football, you'll probably agree with me. You've worked in it. Whether there's 1 second left, 2 minutes left, you still got to call
Yeah.
penalty. It's a penalty. You're not going to just stop the rules because you want it to play out or whatever, because then people are just going to be tackling everybody all over the field. But no matter how you go that way with this call or how you felt about that call against Utah's defense, what that athletic director did was absolutely absurd. To go up to the official after the game and berate him on the field after the game and then grab the mic at the press conference and say what he did and bash the Big 12 and the officials. I'm not I get there sometimes you can say you got to raise your frustration with the officials, but with what he did there was he needs to be disciplined greater than what he was with the fine, in my personal opinion. But
Well,
my thought. And the
I
penalty
get
was
emotions
legit.
run high. I get emotions run high in these games.
Right.
But I think one thing we all have to remember, and if you look at where we are in this world with issues and with hurricanes and with all the problems going on,
Right. It's a football game at the
It's
end
a
of the day.
football game, and I care about it and I love it as much as anybody else. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a football game. And
Yeah.
it's entertainment for fans. It's entertainment and it puts these kids through college. I get it. And we all love watching it and we love being a part of it. But I have a really good friend of mine right now going through some really crazy life stuff with one of his with his baby girl. You know what I mean? Who's been in the hospital and um, you know, you put those things in perspective. Um, and I just I think we need as a society, and we talked about this I think last week a little bit. We need to say it's still it's a game, it's a
Right.
game. Um, we want to win, we all want to win, but if you play better, the other what
15 minutes,
45
whatever.
minutes, 40, 52
Right.
minutes of the game, you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Um, I, but
Right.
what he did and after what he did, I get you're frustrated and everything like that, but you need to have a little bit more candor and you got to be a little bit more
Especially as a leader
as a lead, yeah, and as a
for the
leader
whole
of a
athletic
university,
department.
as a leader of an athletic department, as a leader of that university making a lot of money,
Mhm.
um, I think you need to have a little
Yeah,
bit
kids are
more.
upset they lost,
Yeah, I get it.
but
I get
they
it.
also
Everybody's
had their
upset.
opportunity to win that ball game at other points by scoring in the red zone or
I
in
get it.
the play after that. BYU throws a long pass. They stop them on that play. They might have some other plays to stop them 3 plays later on a fourth down, but
Yeah, I get it.
that, it did not come down to that one holding call, even though people are going to think different.
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
But I think we just need to. I think leaders like that need to say, hey, look, you know, we played hard. It was a great football game. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
we're disappointed.
It didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. Officials made a call. I'm sure the BYU fans all agreed with that call. You know what I
Right,
mean? And the BYU AD did. But you're always going to have somebody with a call. You're going to have somebody that likes it, somebody that doesn't like the call.
right, right,
Just like the election, somebody likes the winner, somebody doesn't like the winner.
right.
It's commonplace. But as a leader, I think you need to step back and say, okay, I gotta
I got to
recuse
look at
myself from
this,
it.
go back and
Yeah.
look at all the facts
Yeah.
first,
But I
and
got
then
to recuse
go.
myself from it,
Right.
and I can't. Being an official is not an easy job. I
No,
I umpire for Little League, and I'm the umpire in chief for our Little League and everything like that. Voted on the board, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it is not an easy job. And I'm talking Little League here, dude. I'm talking young kids, and the amount of parents I have yelling and screaming at me. We have a junior umpire program we do, which is great for the kids, and they get some money and everything like that, get paid for. It's really a good program. You know what I mean? For these kids to find some responsibility. And for an adult to be berating a 15-year-old kid because he called a strike on his daughter while they were, at
right,
softball and tell him he's going to meet him in the parking lot. I mean, what are we doing right now? You know
right,
what I mean? Like,
right.
come on, guys. And but people see this. People see the leaders of these universities and the leaders of these teams make excuses or berate these other people. It's just not right. Like you just don't need to do that. Just don't need to do that. That's my
Yep.
thought on it. But and hey,
Yep.
you may agree with it, you may not agree with it. I'm sure the Utah fans are going to be like, "You guys are the two dumbest idiots we've ever talked to in our entire
Right.
life." That's fine. That's great. You're entitled to your opinion. But those are my 2 cents on it. So
Yep. All right. Well, that includes what episode concludes
funny,
episode 20. So
funny,
stay tuned for a special episode 21 next Friday night. Uh,
excited. I am excited about it.
Anyways, everybody have a good rest of the week. If you play some golf, get out there. The most important thing is have fun and hit them straight and enjoy it. And remember, a bad day on the golf course beats a good day at work. So we'll talk to you all later.